But it hasn't all gone his way. Baz Delart, number 207. And then on row 6, 317, Nico Rindlish Basha. And 283, Joey Van Splunteren. Row 7, 309, Zach DeMello. And 312, Luke Knott. Luke Knott's been going forwards in most of the races today. Anthony Tack, Masaomo Kanda on row 8. And on row 9, Boris Kolf. So today, the victories have gone mostly the way of Philip Moran. He's had 3 wins, Philip Moran. 3 wins and a 7th out of his 4 races so far. He's going to be out in the next encounter. Harry Webb has had 2 wins and a 2nd. He's going to be out in the next race as well. In terms of the drivers here, on the front row, Conor Jupp has had a win today. He's also had a 2nd place and a 3rd place finish. So 1st, 2nd and 3rd place is the best result so far today for Conor Jupp. Ed Brand a couple of 2nds. It could have been 3 top 3 finishes. Had a bit of argy-bargy with Mark Litchfield at the start of the day. Luke Varley has also been pretty impressive today. Luke Varley in kart 279 is going to be starting this race 4th on the grid. He's been up in the top 3 today as well. He hasn't had a win yet, but Luke Varley has had a couple of 3rd place finishes today in the heats. And Josh Collins as well. Ken's already talked about him, but he's been pretty impressive. And Oliver Myers has been up in the top 3. He's had a 2nd, a 4th and a 6th, Ollie Myers. So he's averaged 4th place so far today in his 3 races. So then Mark Litchfield leading them around in kart 321. There you can see online them coming through in the middle of the lap there. That's the left-hander at turn 7, the hairpin, which leads short link straight, running parallel to the start, finish straight into the left-right S-bend section. Turn 8 and turn 9 run directly into one another. This is turn 10, the right-hander, 14 turns. So this is going into the 3rd and final sector of the lap now. And everybody just about bunching up now, ready for the rolling start. 2 more senior races and 2 more DD2 races to come to round out today in the next hour or so of racing to wrap up the 2nd competitive day of action here at PFI in the east of England here in Lincolnshire. Right, are we going to get underway first time? Let's find out. Mark Litchfield leading them round. They accelerate. They go under the start finish line, and it's a good start, a clean start for Mark Litchfield. Whoa, all over the grass for one of them further back. It might have been Jules Kazan, I think, that took to the grass there, but he got away with it. Back through they go, through turn 3. Mark Litchfield leading the way still over the bridge that's named after him, coming out through turn 5 and down towards the hairpin section for the first time. Could be a challenge here for 2nd place from Ed Brand. And Ed Brand, who's 3rd at the moment, going for 2nd place. And he's just about squeezed through. And he gets ahead then of Josh Collins, who's there in 3rd place. And now a change for 4th position as the 266 kart makes his way through. This is Conor Jupp, who's dropped back a bit at the start of the race from the front row. He dropped back from 2nd to 5th. He's just got himself back up into 4th position, though, with a good move at the hairpin. And we've got one off there, which is 317, Nico Rindlish Basha, who's off at the hairpin. Yeah, so I'm afraid he looks like he's out of the race. The rest of the field, though, come out through turn 14. Mark Litchfield has got a nice gap at the end of the first lap of the race. Ed Brand is 2nd. How many times today have Mark Litchfield and Ed Brand been running 1st and 2nd in the races, and how many times have they overtaken each other? They seem to be glued together this weekend, and through over the bridge they go. 3rd place at the end of the first lap was Collins. Conor Jupp back up to 4th position. Oliver Myers was 5th at the end of lap number 1. Luke Varley running in 6th. Down towards the hairpin they go. On to lap 2, Ken.
Yeah, and that's a handy little move there by Max Aitken, who gains himself a place but hasn't seemed to kick away. So is he going to lose it? No, he isn't. Max Aitken going up into 6th place from 7th. Just in front of him, those front 5 pulled away a little bit. I don't take anything from Mark Litchfield, but the dice that got, let me see, Ed Brand up past Josh Collins did give him a big margin, and so Ed's got to work that down before he can think in terms of a challenge. I hope this wouldn't be interpreted the wrong way, but I'm looking forward to a good little dice between Ed Brand and Mark Litchfield. This is the start of lap 3. There's 0.22 of a second. And Chris, Ed Brand's just done a 57.7, half a second quicker than Mark Litchfield's 58.2. The suggestion is that Ed is about to make a challenge on Mark sometime relatively soon.
Oliver Myers has just got ahead of Conor Jupp, coming out of turn 5 for 4th place, and now there could be a change of lead. Ed Brand squeezes throughout the inside and gets ahead of Mark Litchfield. He runs a little wide on the exit, but he's got the line covered all the way into the next hairpin. And Ed Brand gets past Mark Litchfield. That's not the first time it's happened. It's not the first time the pair have had a good race. They are about 3/4 of a second clear of Josh Collins, who's there in third place. Myers now up to fourth, as I described. Connor Jupp down to fifth position. Max Aitken is coming very nicely up through the order in the 3-1-4 cart. He started on the fourth row. He dropped back a bit on lap number 1, but he's now back into the top 6. Luke Varley is the one that's dropped out of the top 6 in 2.79.
And under pressure from Jan Jonk as well moments ago. So Luke's just got to gather himself together at the moment. Good effort this by Ed Brand to go past Mark as cleanly as he did, but although he's gone quicker than Mark on this lap as well, 57.97 against 58.4, Mark has not been absolutely detached. A little bit later on the brakes as we go into the right-hand hairpin at the start of the long serpentine, and Mark Litchfield by no means being shaken off by Ed Brand, getting closer to Ed as we move out of the serpentine into the chicane and down the secondary back straight here at PF. And Mark Litchfield looking as if he's making a general enquiry as to how he might go past Ed Brand. So whereas it was a suggestion to me when I looked how quickly they were going that Ed ought to kick away, it's not developing that way. Mark Litchfield still keeping the pressure on. The margin was 0.199, it's now 0.177. Mark Litchfield chasing down Ed Brand, Chris.
Yeah, he's got to watch it though, because he's got Collins and Myers third and fourth getting ever closer. So third and fourth almost now with the top 2. Bit of contact there between third and fourth going through turn 5. They run 2 abreast going down the back straight. Myers is going to get through, and watch out for Connor Jupp. He launches one down the inside and splits the pair of them. So Connor Jupp gets back up to fourth place. The one that goes backwards is Josh Collins from third to fifth, trying to get back up to fourth with a gutsy move up the inside there. That came from nowhere. He gets one, but he loses one because Max Aitken with the green helmet gets past the pair of them with a much tidier run through the left-hand hairpin. So Connor Jupp there coming under a bit of a surprise attack, having just got the move. He then got forced back. So that's all mixed it up a bit, fourth and fifth. So Aitken up to fourth position now, and Collins fifth, and down to sixth position goes Connor Jupp, who, don't forget, started the race second on the grid, but top 6 finish would still be okay given his other results that he's been able to put together with a first, a second and a third. It wouldn't be a complete disaster. So it's a case of maybe just erring on the side of caution in this final heat for the drivers. But Ed Brand, who hasn't really erred on the side of caution today so far, nor has Mark Litchfield, are still going at it, aren't they? Connor Jupp's just got back up the inside of Max Aitken into the hairpin at turn 6 and back up to fourth place. So Ed Brand leads. Second is Mark Litchfield. Third is Oliver Myers. Fourth is Connor Jupp, fifth is Max Aitken, and sixth now is Josh Collins.
Josh Collins putting the pressure on Max Aitken, although he was moments ago. He's just lost a little bit of a cushion in favour of Max Aitken, so that does give Max a breather. But I think Chris had said it was a nice, neat move by Max Aitken previously, and I endorse that. I think this is probably one of the better drives by Max. I know that he frustrates Gary Chapman quite often when he says that, or used to frustrate Gary Chapman when he said he could do so much more. Cart number 314, have to say that Max Aitken in strawberry racing colours going a little bit better than we might have seen him if he'd have continued that more erratic style that he tended to turn in. Mark Litchfield later on the brakes than Ed Brand, not quite making a challenge as the sun comes out, but closing the gap for sure. It was 0.22 of a second at the end of 6th lap, the 2/3 race distance, going towards the... And Mark Litchfield almost looking at his fans in the grandstand as he drives by. Well, Chris, he knows this circuit like the back of his hand, but wouldn't you have thought looking forward would have been called for when you're that close to the leader?
He did. He went down that link straight, looking completely to the right, looking... I don't know what he was looking at. Actually, he was trying to look at some instruction or something, and he certainly wasn't looking where he was going. But like you say, he could probably do it with his eyes closed. Litchfield, he doesn't slow him up, does it? He gets even closer to the tail of Ed Brand now, through turns 1, through turn 2. Doesn't find a way at the inside into turn 3, trying to squeeze through as they go up to the top of the hill, but no, Ed Brand is equal to him and holds on to the lead of the race. We've got 2 laps to go, including the one we're on, and Ed Brand hanging on to first place. He hasn't had a win today so far. He's had a couple of seconds, but a win would sort him out very nicely indeed. But Mark Litchfield might just have something to say about that. Oliver Myers.
And there's what he has to say, Chris.
I'm having it. I'm coming through. Mark Litchfield with the move at the hairpin. Now, remember, boys, what happened this morning when you started playing a bit too hard. You both came off worse, and everybody else got past you, and you dropped both of you to the tail end of the top 10. So hopefully they'll be sensible here as they come towards the end of the lap. Lap and a bit to go for them. Oliver Myers looking for another top 6 finish here. He's going to be well up the grid, isn't he, if he stays like this. Max Aitken, his best result so far in 4th. Josh Collins 5th. Connor Jupp is there in 6th place. Luke Varley is 7th. Jan Jonk is 8th. Jules Kazan and Baz de Laat rounding out the top 10 as they go into turn 3. Nose to tail, Ken, for the final time in the race. And Ed Brand on the attack this time, trying to find a way past Mark Litchfield. Mark's got 2 hairpins now to worry about, Ed Brand, and this is not going to be easy. He's going to be looking over his shoulder again.
And Ollie Myers closing on them as Mark tries to condense the situation. Have to say that Ed Brand would be very comfortable to finish with 2nd places in every outing, but boy does he want to beat Mark Litchfield, and here's Ollie Myers going into 2nd place. So Ollie Myers splits Mark Litchfield and Ed Brand, and that could be the seminal moment in the race that gives the victory to Mark Litchfield, not because Ollie Myers isn't good enough to catch him, but simply because we're in the last quarter lap of the race. Briefly out of sight of Chris and myself, but Mark Litchfield holding the advantage from Oliver Myers. Ed Brand in 3rd place. That's how they're going to finish. The checkered flag comes out and Mark Litchfield takes the victory. Oliver Myers 2nd, Ed Brand 3rd, Max Aitken a good drive into 4th place, Joshua Collins 5th, let's hope he holds on to it, Luke Varley 6th, Connor Jupp 7, Jan Jonk 8, Jules Kuzan 9 and Baz de Laat completing the top 10.
Well, well done Mark Litchfield. That's his first win of the weekend, but he's been thereabouts all day long. But anybody that knows Mark knows how well he's driven over the last 20 years or so. Makes him sound old. He's not. He started racing when he was 8. But Mark Litchfield, terrific drive there to 1st place, and Oliver Myers, so impressive. He's been on the cusp, on the fringes so far this season. Now he's in the mix. The Coles Racing driver has had an absolutely superb Saturday here in his home circuit, and Oliver Myers will be right up there in the grid. I cannot believe that he's going to be anything but in the top 6 on the grid for the pre-final tomorrow with those results that he's had. So Oliver Myers will be very, very content when he goes to sleep tonight, and excited and looking forward to what might be tomorrow. Mark Litchfield, the winner of that race. Ollie Myers, 2nd. Paul Car Racing and Coles Racing running those 2 drivers respectively. For the Intrepid Driver programme, Ed Brand, 3rd. Good day for Ed as well. 2 seconds, a 3rd. His worst result was a 10th. He'll be certainly well up in the first half of the grid for the pre-final tomorrow. Max Aitken, 4th for Strawberry Racing. Josh Collins for Global Karting coming home in 5th. Luke Varley for KMS Hungary 6th. Connor Jupp for Dan Holland Racing 7th. British drivers in their home race 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. The Danish driver Jan Jonk for RS Competition was 8th. Pretty decent day in the end, 2/3 and an 8th. One slightly iffy result, but he'll be through. He'll be qualified. Jules Kazan in 9th place for DSS Kart. Baz de Laat, the Dutch driver, 10th for PDP Kart Racing. Zachary De Meo, again, thereabouts. I would think he'd be through to the pre-final as a top 28 qualified pretty safely. He's been pretty solid today. Luke Knotts, 12th. Joey Van Splunteren, 13th. Anthony Tack, Masawami Kanda, Boris Kolf and Nico Rindlish-Basser. Well, Nico's 17th, but he never finished the race, and he did a lap or so, and he's being towed back now on the back of a trailer after coming to grief at the hairpin. So 16 of the 17 karts see the checkered flag and make it home. And in terms of seniors, that's it for the seniors now for today. They'll go away, calculate the points on the computer. And those seniors. For those seniors, we've got 3 more races to go. So those boys, that's their day done.